happening. So we're going to do a little experiment today. I'm going to throw the whopper plopper for a minute, see if anything will bite that. And we're going to see if we can get a fish on a grandma's cookie. Let's see if I can catch a fish on that. Alright guys, so what we're doing here today is an experiment. I'm going to throw this whopper plopper for a second, and then I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to see if I can use this to catch a freaking fish. What do you think? Will it work or will it not? I'm not even sure if it'll stay on the hook, but we're going to try. This a couple more casts, and then we're going to try that grandma's cookie. I'm kind of working this right down the edge of the weed line. know something's weird today in this lake because normally the bluegill are sitting right here in this clearing. Today they're deep. So something's changed. I know the water level's come down. It looks like close to 2 feet in the last day or so. I don't know why, but the water level's definitely dropping. We'll give this another. I'm going to give this 2 more casts. Then we're going to try the grandma's cookie thing. Bluegill aren't even following the whopper plopper, which is odd because usually the bluegill will just flock to this thing. So let's see what happens. Nothing is following this at all. Usually I get bluegill following it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over and we're going to, hey Lyle, what's up? We're going to switch over now and see if we can get a fish to eat a freaking straight up grandma's cookies. Tie on the biggest my small hooks. Let's see what we can do with a freaking grandma's cookie. I've been saying it for 3 days. I really need to change this braided line. It's getting so. Usually braided line's got a little bit of rigidity to it. This has lost that rigidity. So it's getting hard to tie. What the hell? It just straight pulled through the eyelid of the hook. So I gotta smash that little loop on the back of the hook that you know, the eye that you tie your line around. Wasn't closed enough. The line actually slid through it. Take my little tag in and put it in my pocket. Now I'll take a single split shot and put that on just so I can actually get this thing to cast. Take our bait pack. Oh, dude, if you bite the Africa twin, I wanted that bite so bad. So, grandma's cookies. Are they good? Yeah. Question is, can we catch a fish on them? I think we can, but we're going to find out right now. Can I catch a fish on a freaking grandma's cookie? The big thing is, can I get a grandma's cookie to stay on the hook? So here we go. Little grandma's cookie dough ball. Bluegill all over it. So this thing's actually more buoyant or more dense than I thought. I will be able to take the weight off. I didn't think I'd be able to cast it without a weight, but it's got enough weight to it that. Hey, what's happening? It's hard to see the chat, guys, but so again, we're fishing with the grandma's cookie. We're gonna see if we can catch a fish on it. Ooh. bluegill are easy for sure. I just think the piece of cookie that I have on there is too big for the bluegill. They're definitely trying to eat it. I think what I need to do is actually put a bigger piece on and get it out a little farther. Because these bluegill are just tearing it apart. I know for a fact if I put a small piece on a really tiny hook, it will catch a bluegill. But I'm going for, I want a cat or a bass on a cookie. The funny thing is, it does stay on the hook very well. So let me try another, I'm going to try a little bigger piece, see if I can get it out farther, and see what happens. All right, there we go. That is a grandma's cookie dough ball. And I'm going to flip this out and see if I can get a bass or a catfish to eat it. Now we're going to just sit and wait and see if we can get a fish to bite a freaking grandma's cookie. Now the fishing here the last couple days has been crazy. The water level's dropped at least 2 feet. So I'm pretty sure that's affected the fish. I was here yesterday and I got 1 bass. Normally I come here and I'll get 12 to 14 fish a day. So I think the water level dropping the way it has really affected everything. But we're definitely going to try and see what we can get. Now, I don't know any other idiot in the world that's ever tried to catch a fish on a grandma's cookie, but I'm going to be that idiot and see what happens. I may or may not get a fish. I kind of expect I won't, but I've already proven by popping a little chunk down in front of the bluegill that they will absolutely go after it. It's just a matter of getting that in front of the cat and the bass. And like I said, with the weed line or the water line dropping so far, it's kind of shut the fishing off. I was here yesterday and I got one bass. And funny enough, that bass came on Wonder Bread. And today, I did not bring Wonder Bread on purpose. I've learned here that the bluegill will absolutely annihilate the Wonder Bread. And if I can get them stirred up and get them going crazy in the water, the bass and the cat will come to investigate what's going on. So today I decided not to bring Wonder Bread. And I mean, I have some in the car, but I didn't bring it out. So I can walk back into the gym. But I want to see what happens without it. Now I know the last few days there's been a lot of people fishing here too, so that pressure could have shut the fish down a little bit as well. And then this lake, I don't like to let my bait sit in the same spot very long, just because of all the weeds, and I know the fish cruise the shoreline. So what I'll do is in just a minute here, I'll move that bait a little bit and see what happens. And I may actually put it on a bobber and let it float in the wind. So, hey, father and son. No luck yet. We're doing a complete and total stupidity of an experiment. I'm fishing with grandma's cookies. I'm using, I'll show you here, straight up oatmeal raisin grandma's cookie for bait. And just to prove that it's actually a good, decent, viable cookie, they're good. So we'll see what happens on a grandma's cookie. Sure, I'm positive. If I were to, not drop my rod and hook my hand, if I were to put a smaller hook on here, I guarantee I could catch a bluegill. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try for a bigger fish first. Now, there is a bunch of weeds in this lake, so it's hard to get the bait out of the weeds. But now I'm going to try another little method. And I'm going to pop a bobber on here and let this just float on the surface and see what happens. And like I said, I have zero expectations of this working. but I've seen stupider stuff. I did an experiment before, tuna fishing. I actually put a Cheeto on a hook. I rubber banded a Cheeto to a hook, and I caught a tuna on a Cheeto. Now that was before the YouTube days, so I don't have it on film. Heck, that was before cell phones were a major thing. But all I'm doing is I'm just taking this and basically making a dough ball out of a grandma's cookie. And I'm going to cast it out and see what happens. Let's see what we can do there. I have no expectations of this working, and I completely expect to be made a fool out of by doing this, but you never know. I mean, stupider things have happened. I really don't think it's going to work. I'm almost positive if I put a real small hook on it, you'll bite it. But I want to see if I can get a bass or a catfish to bite it. Because I've already caught 5+ pound catfish out of here, and 3 and 4 pound bass on white bread. So, Finn, I have not caught anything yet. Like I said, I'm fishing with grandma's cookies. Straight up oatmeal raisin grandma's cookie is what I have on for bait. Now, I did just see a little bass boil over here in the corner, so I might go over there and try it. Because I know for a fact there's a bass over there. So I'm going to let this bobber float, see what happens. Right now, the bluegill are picking apart. Bluegill are absolutely annihilating that cookie. So I'm hoping that by them going after it, that'll attract a bass. So I've noticed here when the bluegill start going after things, the bass come up to investigate, and then they'll go for it. There's a possibility they just robbed me of my bait. I mean, I'm tempted to tie on a real super small like mosquito hook and catch a bluegill just to prove the theory. But I think what I'm going to do is that bass over there in the corner is rolled twice. So I might toss this over at him in just a second here. Right now, that thing's out there getting annihilated by bluegill. Over a little bit into the corner here, and we're going to see if I can get something over here. There's a see that bobber on camera or not. It's hard for me to see the screen. Those bluegill are just all over that thing. Where I saw that bass rolling around. There's a bass right there. He's not huge, but he's a bass. Come on, there's that bass. He's a little guy, but he's there. Now, I didn't say I was going to try to catch a lunker. I just said I was going to try to catch a fish. So, we'll see what happens here. I think I actually need to move that bobber so the bait drips down a little bit into the water. Because right now it's just sitting three inches from the top. Move the bobber so it sits down a little deeper. Things have happened. I'm really tempted to just toss this out in the middle and let it float around and see what happens with it. All right, nothing's doing there. That little bass took off. So let me get it over here a little more. Let's see what happens. A little deeper. I know the lake level's dropped, so I'm thinking the fish went deeper. I've been catching them within like 4 or 5 feet of the bank. I know this is probably boring to watch for you guys, but it's definitely one hell of an experiment. And guys, I'm like 3 subscribers away from my 700 goal, so if you guys haven't subscribed yet, hit that button for me. See if I can get up to that goal. I'm not sure where that little bass went. I think he saw me and took off. Now, there is a bunch of rocks I can see right out here. So there very well could be bass hiding behind those rocks. Or catfish. I don't care if it's a bass or a cat or a carp or bluegill or what. Any fish will do on this bait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back over and I'm going to cast this out and I'm going to let it float. I'm going to try to float it along the perimeter of this weed line. Okay, so we're going to cast that back over there. And there's that rod in the frame. I cannot see the screen with the glares. It's just a really bad glare. I can't tell if the rod's in the frame or not. Pretty sure it is. Gosh, I just can't see at all. So we'll wait and see what happens. But that bobber is, okay, let's see. There it is. There's the rod in the frame now. Okay. We'll see if anything bites on that. Total experiment. Total stupid. Try to see if I can catch a fish with the dumbest bait ever. But we're going to see what happens. You never know. I might get a fish on that. I got bluegill down there picking at it. There's no bass or no catfish yet. To be honest, I haven't even seen, other than that one little bass in the corner, I haven't seen the bass that usually cruise this shoreline. Alright, so it's right here back in that massive puddle of pool. Okay, I'm going to give this a second, then I'm going to actually take that off. That rod holder, I'm not sure what brand it is. It's just, once I reel this in here, I'll show you guys. Just a little piece of crap that I picked up on Amazon Vine. But it works pretty well for this. Now, I did have a catfish rip the rod out of the holder the other day, though. Okay, these bluegill are just decimating that cookie. Let me try something new here for a minute. Yeah, look at that. Bluegill ate the cookie off of the thing. So here's this rod holder. It's just a little piece of junk rod holder. You know, you can, each little knob turns it a different way. So you can adjust the pitch on it, whatever, and you just basically set your rod in, and it just locks it in. So the rod just locks in right there. The little thing here on the front, and you push this one down, the one on the back locks the rod butt in. So, Tanja, what's happening? We were doing stupidity experiments today. I was trying to see if I could catch a fish on a grandma's cookie. But they're not wanting to play. The bluegill keep attacking my cookie. So I'm going to try something a little different for a second and see what happens. See if I can actually get a bass to bite. I have these little curly tails that actually glow in the dark. So I'm going to put one of those on. I'm just going to nose rig it just like this. Toss that out and see if I can get something to chase that. I wish I could show you guys, but these things glow like super bright. I'm going to keep the bobber on too to keep this thing out of the weeds. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's going to catch a bass for sure. There's one right there. Close it. I ordered them from Bass Pro and they sent me the wrong ones. All right. Hey, shout out Tanja, I appreciate that. See if I can pin that. Pin the Cash App. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I may actually catch the lake skunk today. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't know what's happening today. The bass are just nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, I really think that the water level dropping as much as it has really affected them, the fish. Usually by this time, I would have had at least 3 fish. Now there has been a bunch of people here lately fishing. So I'm not sure if the fishing pressure that they've had the last few days has affected them or what, but my thought is that the lake level dropping as much as it has really done a number on these fish. You gotta be kidding me. Drop that bobber or that split shot down and see if I can get this to sink a little more. So guys, I'm trying to hit my goal of 700 on the subscribers. It'd be pretty awesome if you guys would hit that subscribe button. So I'm doing the Mama's Cookies thing. I switched over real quick to this little curly tail. Something's going on here in this lake. All of a sudden the fish are just nowhere to be found. So I'm going to try this for a minute and then I'm going to switch back over to the Mama's Cookies. I just want to see if I can actually catch a bass on, a normal bait real quick. And then I'm going to switch back over and go back to the Mama's Cookies here in a minute. So far, fish are just nowhere to be found. I'm not quite sure what happened. Even the bluegill here are different today. Oh, I lost my freaking... I ain't gonna catch nothing that way. I actually snapped my freaking line. That's weird. My actual line broke. Josie, so far nothing's happening. I'm going back to the mama's cookie right now because that's what I came here to try. Nothing else is happening. No fish are biting in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to go back to the cookie. All right, if I can get a freaking hook out of the box. All right, there we go. Got one. So now that I'm positive that the bass are not going to be biting today, which I don't know what happened, but I really think it's the fact that the water levels dropped so much. I'm going to actually try to get a bluegill because a fish is a fish, right? So let's see. I'm tying on a little tiny mosquito hook now. And I'm going to see if I can get a bluegill on the grandma's cookie. So give me just a second, guys. I almost got this tied. And once I got it tied, I will bait up a cookie and toss it back out in the water. All right, there we go. I put on a little tiny mosquito hook. I mean, teeny tiny. Like, you probably can't even see this hook on camera. It's so small. But I put on a teeny tiny hook. I'm going to try to at least get a bluegill on grandma's cookies. So I know the bluegill have been just annihilating it and eating it off the hook. But here we go. This is what we're throwing in for bait. So let's see what happens. And yes, it is a cookie. You can see that's cookies. Those are actually pretty damn good. So now I'm just going to see if I can get a little teeny tiny piece to stay on the hook. And I'll bet you if I can get that little piece out there, I will catch a bluegill on this. too big of a piece. They can't fit it in their mouth, so they're eating it off the hook, and I can't get the hook set. We try a smaller little piece here. Well, I can call the fish. I can definitely do that. All right, look at that. That's a little tiny, teeny piece. That will most likely get me a bluegill right here. Caught a fish on a grandma's cookie. I actually caught a fish on a grandma's cookie. It's a tiny bluegill, but it is a fish on a grandma's cookie. Would you freaking believe that? Now the question is, should I nose hook him and throw him back out for a big old bass? That is a fish on a grandma's cookie. He's tiny, but I caught a fish on a grandma cookie. Let's do that again. Think I can recreate that? Let's recreate that. Happening was the bait was too big for them to fit in their mouth, so they were just picking at it. But now I've scaled it down super far, and I actually caught a fish on a grandma's cookie. Come on, guys. They robbed me. They got it. They got my bait. Let's try it again. Here we go again. Gonna catch a bluegill on the ground boat. A little bass just showed up. So let me get another little piece on there and see what we can do. There's a little bass that cruises around right here in front of me, and he's just showed his face. It's the first time I've seen him today. If he starts coming in like he normally does, I'll be able to get him. There's that little bass. So let's see if I can get that little bass to bite this. I'm going to actually put a little bit bigger chunk of bait on here. Well, I'm pretty sure this hook's probably way too small to hook that bass. But if I can get him to go at it, then what I'll do is I'll put on a bigger hook and target him. You know, for a fact, I get him on white bread all the time. I've caught that same bass probably 12 times. All right, there he goes. He's cruising. He sees the bluegill coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chum it up a little bit. Kind of whip those bluegill up, and then that bass should come in the bite. Look at that. There we go again. So that's just a little baby bluegill. But I caught him on a grandma's cookie. He's a little tiny guy, but he ate a grandma's cookie. So I've proven that you can catch fish on grandma's cookies. Little tiny bitty baby guy. He'd be perfect for bait. Oh, I just watched that bass rip that bluegill that I threw in. He just went up and whacked it. So now we're going to try to catch that bass. I'm going to put on a different hook and a different setup real quick. All right. I just watched that bass eat that bluegill I threw back in. So I'm going to throw a fluke out there. You know that bass went after that bluegill. So let's see what go after. But as we all saw, I caught 2 different fish on a freaking grandma's cookie. not sure where all the fish went today. Kind of seems like they're still sitting along the weed line. They're not as active. So I don't know what happened here, but they just all of a sudden just died off. I'm wondering if maybe the bastard just keyed in on those live bluegill. I gotta check the time here. It's 11:53, so I got a few minutes here, but I gotta take off in a little bit. We got ribs going on the smoker today, so I gotta go get those on here pretty quick. I'll give it a couple more casts. If I don't get anything, then I'm gonna call it. Hey guys, if you already haven't, hit that like and that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a lot more stupid things of what stupid baits can I catch fish on. The grandma's cookie, I've already proved it. I caught 2 bluegill on it. They were little, but they were fish. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see me try next for a bait. What stupid bait can we use next? You know, you'd think that Thule line across the way would be a great spot. I think it'd be loaded with fish, but we never caught a fish off the Thule line. All the fish I've caught have come right here off of this bank. And the majority of the fish I've caught here have been less than 10 feet off the bank. For some reason, the bass are just not chasing anything. Now, he did chase that one bluegill that I caught and threw in. As soon as that bluegill made a splash in the water, that bass was all over him. If they're not chasing the fluke, which is very strange for this lake. Not even the bluegill are keyed down on a fluke. And they'll usually surround it. Doesn't make sense today. Something in this pond has definitely changed. I'm not sure what, I mean, I know the water levels dropped quite a bit, but normally, even these bluegill are just all over the baits. And for some reason, they're not. I don't know if the water level dropping as far as it has affected the fish that much, but something has definitely changed. Now I did live up to the title of the video, and I did catch 2 fish on grandma's cookies. They were small, they were bluegill, but they were fish. But something here is off. I don't know what it is. I usually see bass and catfish cruising the shoreline here, and I haven't seen any except this little one. So I'll show you guys how far this water has dropped in the last 48 hours. It's insane. Let me flip the camera around here, and you can see the water line here, how much it's actually dropped. So right here is the water line where it was 3 days ago. That's a good couple feet of how far that's dropped. So that kayak right there, sitting on the edge of the water line was up to the side of that kayak, the right side, the side that's on the ground. So, I mean, you can see here how far the water line's dropped. And I really think that water line dropping as much as it has really turned off the fish. So that big rock over there, I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in. Big rock right here, right there. 2 days ago was underwater. Not all the way, but you know, a good 6 inches underwater. Now you can walk between the water line and that rock. So I really think that amount of water being let out of here that quick has really upset these fish. But guys, the fish aren't biting, and I gotta go get some ribs on the smoker for dinner. I'm gonna take the rest of my grandma's cookie here, toss it out in front of the camera, and watch how fast these bluegill boil up on it. Here they come. There's half the bluegill showing up that normally show up too. See them all just going crazy right there? See if I'm gonna break the surface again. They're just everywhere. Oh, and there's that bass. You guys see that bass cruising in? That bass is cruising in, hunting those bluegill. So let me see if I can get them all stirred up. Let me see if I can get this fluke in front of his face and if he'll bite it. That bass is keying in on these bluegill. I knew right when I stirred those bluegill up, that bass was going to come in. And he wants nothing to do with that fluke. He just took off. And what he'll probably do is circle out and then go hide and wait for those bluegill and make a mistake. There he comes. There he is. Let me see if I can get him to go after this fluke. I was going to pack it up. I threw the rest of the cookies in the water, and he showed up. Now the wind just picked up, so I can't really see what's going on under there. But I know where he's sitting now. So that fish is definitely keyed in on the live bait. Last cast on this guy, and then I'm out of here. I'm going to work this kind of slow. I'm going to try to bounce this fluke off the bottom. Let's see if he'll come in and take it. He's really keyed in on those bluegill, though. And with the wind blowing on the water, I can't see what's going on now. All right, one more. Always one more. Kind of thinking that's about where he's been staging to come ambush these bluegill. And I know that bass. I've caught him 5, 6, 7 times. He's got a crooked tail. Yeah, he's having none of it today. All right. Time to pack things up and get out of here. Gotta go get the ribs put on the smoker. They've been marinating overnight in my dry rub. So, yeah, Billy, whatever. Sorry guys, my trap froze. Hey, Billy Cosby, you putting that stupid shit in there about, Joe Rogan, all that false bullshit. You guys are fucking idiots. I don't want you here, bud. You made 2 comments and they were both stupid, so you're gone. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pack up my stuff here real quick. I'm going to walk down to the corner and I'm going to throw this fluke 2 or 3 more casts. I don't really have a lot of time. Didn't really have a lot of time to fish today, so. Do what I can with the time that I got. So, let's walk down here a little bit and see if we can make something happen at least. I know my little bass over here is not biting today. I mean, you can see how far that water line's gone down. So, I really do believe that affected the fish. Yesterday, I would have been walking in the water right here. Today, I'm a foot away from it. All right. Let's set up right here for just a quick second on this little corner and see if I can make something happen. Let's see if I can pull a miracle at the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 on. Or 2 strikes. See if I can get something to happen. I doubt it though. The way things are going. The last couple of days. rolling over here. A little bit longer cast and see if we can get a bass to chase and follow. I'm letting that fluke sink pretty deep. And this pond's only 10 feet deep at the deepest, but I'm letting that fluke sink about 6 feet. It seems like most of the fish have been holding tight to the bottom. Doing. See if I can bring it by this rock pile out here and see what happens. I really think that water level dropping has really messed with the fish. Nothing happening. Technically, I didn't get skunked. I got 2 fish on a grandma's cookie, but I've never had a worse day here bass fishing. I've always caught at least 5, 6 bass here. We'll have to see what happens this weekend. I know there is the ability to raise and lower the level of this pond, and we'll see what happens this weekend. If it raises, I'm betting the fishing just kicks back off. All right, there's a little bass. Let me see if I can even go look at this thing. I'm going to throw it way past him and drag it back over. This is just weird. Not even the bluegill are chasing this thing. They usually chase anything that hits the water. One final cast. longer I stay out here, the longer it's going to take those ribs to cook. It's already going to take them 6.5 hours. But if I don't get them on the smoker soon, I'm not going to be eating dinner till like 11 o'clock at night. Alright guys, nothing is happening here today. Everything is completely shut down today. No bass, no catfish, no tilapia. Matter of fact, I even haven't seen it. So I don't know what happened today, but something changed. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'm going to end it. Yeah, David, we were trying to catch bass. Well, I was trying to catch either bass or catfish today. My whole plan was to catch fish on a grandma's cookie, which I was successful. I did catch 2 bluegill on a grandma's cookie. So that was something. Proves that the stupidest thing you can think of will actually catch fish. But it worked. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'm going to go home and cook up the ribs. So I might be back later on this afternoon. If I am, I'll come back live and see what we can catch as fish on next, or if we can actually catch a fish. I might bring, I got some shrimp and stuff in the freezer. I might try shrimp over here for a catfish, see what happens. But thanks for being here, guys. Remember, if you haven't hit that like and that subscribe, hit those buttons, and we'll see you guys next time.